In this video, I would like to take a look at the strengths and the weaknesses of the different styles on the DISC, behavioral styles analysis, or the DISC personality analysis. The D, if I can remind you, stands for dominance or drive. The I stands for influence. The S stands for steadiness or support. And the C for conscientious or clarity. Those are the 4 different styles of the DISC. And in this video, I would like specifically want to take a look at the strengths and the weaknesses of the D, the dominance and the drive. Maybe let me start first off talking about the word weaknesses. I dislike the word weaknesses because I think any person is constructed in a specific way. And if you do have weaknesses, maybe an alternative might be to think about it as development areas. We all have development areas that need to develop within us. No one's perfect. And developing those areas might give us a more fuller human experience. In other words, help us to express our potential more fully. Now, the development areas of the D include the following. They are demanding and abrasive. So one of the things they need to do is to develop some kind of sensitivity towards other people that are not like them, because other people might experience them as being very demanding and abrasive, especially if they are under stress. When the D feels compelled to achieve certain results, they can lose empathy and sensitivity with other people and become demanding and abrasive. They're also impatient. They love to compete. They love to win. They love to participate and engage. They're one of the elements or one of the styles on the DISC that are more active and outgoing and extroverted. And their decision making might be quick and impatient, or they might be driven by impatience, therefore they make quick decisions. Another development area that the D style has is they've got no regard, full deep regard for authority. I think in a way they regard themselves as the authority, and therefore they might not have necessary respect or regard for authority. They might focus so much on the destination that they disregard the journey. So often one needs to make them aware that the journey is just as important as the destination. Because for them, being so results driven or results orientated and wanting to get to a goal and achieve the goal often cause them to forget that they're busy with the process and busy with the journey. They're also too task focused and lack that necessary flair with being people focused. So being driven as they are in achieving, the completion of a task, they might disregard people, or not necessarily disregard, but not be so sensitive towards other people that they actually need to help them to achieve what they want to achieve. They also give too little attention to detail. Often for the D person, the person that measures high on the D on the DISC, they see the big picture and they are future orientated, focused on the future, what needs to happen there and what they can do to make it happen, that they would neglect necessary detail. And they are not risk averse. They're more prone to take risks. And sometimes it would help them a lot to calculate the risk before they engage with something or pursue something. And then they might get quite impatient with people who they regard as being incompetent or people who don't learn quick enough. These are some of the development areas of the person that measures high on the D, on the disc. And it's worthwhile to not just disregard what I say here, but to take some of these elements to heart and see whether you can't develop out of those things and become the person that you are born to be. Now, in terms of strengths, those things that D people are very good with, we can mention the following to start off with. They are quite committed to finish what they start. So they're not people that like to let things hang loose or things remain in kind of a limbo. When they start things, they pursue for the goal, or they chase the goal, and they would like to make things happen to the end. In other words, what they start, they will finish. They're not scared to initiate things. They often take the lead, especially if things need to be executed and things need to be done. And therefore, they would initiate it when they see something is necessary to be done. They can work very hard-working people. They don't shy away from hard work. And that often brings them, especially this ability to initiate things and to be able to work very hard, places them and brings them into leadership positions. And they're quite comfortable with leading. They're innovative in finding ways to make things happen. So they will make a plan. If they get stuck, they will often figure out how they're going to get around that which hinders them. And they can sometimes be quite creative in the way in which they solve problems. They learn quickly, very alert kind of people, very alert of the external environment, of things around them, and they're very resilient in achieving goals, but also resilient in everything that they would attempt. And they've got some kind of, never die attitude to life in general. They make excellent leaders, like I've mentioned, because they don't shy away from challenges. They would take them head on. And when they do communicate with other people, it's direct and clear. The more sensitive kind of people might find their communication quite challenging. And as I've mentioned, in the development areas, more sensitive people might find them abrasive and direct. But often it's not intended like that, because these are just on a mission most of the time. And then they also make great entrepreneurs and business executives, corporate executives. They're very good with business, most of them. And they actually enjoy business. So that's for the development areas and the strengths of the D on the disc.